Shabbat Shalom. Moedim l'simcha. Chagim uzmanim l'sason. So, Moedim l'simcha, that's the greeting that we say during Chol Moed, the intermediate days of Sukkot. Then people say back, Chagim uzmanim l'simcha, holidays and times of joy. Because actually this period of time during Sukkot is a festival of joy and celebration. So I thought we could start with part of our liturgy that talks about joy and celebration on page 20. It's the end of Psalm 96. Yismechu hashamayim, let us rejoice, let the heavens rejoice, v'tagel haaretz, and the earth sing for joy. Let the sea roar, yiram hayam, umlo'o, and all that fills it. Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam, umlo'o. Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam. As we rejoice in this festival of Sukkot, we also rejoice on Shabbat. It's my pleasure to call upon Emma, who's going to lead us in lighting the Shabbat candles and welcoming Shabbat.
Please read with me on the bottom of page 20. On this day we would see the world in a new light. On this day we would add new spirit to our lives.
On this day we would taste a new time of peace. We would rest from desire, from gain, ambition for things.
We would raise our eyes to look beyond time and space toward eternity. Oh, may we come to see the world in a new light.
As it is written, let a new light shine upon Zion, and may it be our blessing to see its splendor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו בזכותו וציוונו בהגותו של שבת.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו בזכותו וציוונו On page 25, at the top of the page, since we're talking about Sukkot, shelters, this begins with the words, Higale na ufros chavivi alai et sukkot shlomecha. Spread over us the sukkah, the shelter of your peace. Higale, gale. On page 27, we join together in the words of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel at the top of the page. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness and time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. And as we greet Shabbat, we do so with the words of Lecha Dodi. We welcome Shabbat on page 29, rising for the last verse to symbolically welcome Shabbat as she enters. Lecha Dodi likrat kana, l'nei Shabbat nekala. Lecha Dodi likrat kana, l'nei Shabbat nekala. Shabbat Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kana, l'nei Shabbat nekala. On page 34, Frank, would you lead us at the top of the page in How Can I Sing?
How can I sing of day and night when it's God who formed them?
How can I sing of heaven and earth when it is God who decreed them?
How can I sing of mountains and hills when it's God who planted them?
How can I sing of seas and deserts when it is God who begot them?
And how can I sing of earth and its fullness when it is God who made the weed?
I shall sing to God who fashioned all and is beyond all. It is to God I shall sing. We sing praises to God in the words of Baruch Hu as we rise and body your spirit, page 36. We continue responsively in the English of the Ma'ariv Aravim, reading Bet, page 37. Chef, would you lead us there?
God of all worlds, how insignificant we are in your sight, and how minute in your presence. You are creator of a universe so vast that the effort to conceive it overwhelms the mind. Our mightiest telescopes can but a corner of it. The rays of light that reach us from distant galaxies began their journey long before we came to be. Counted from creation, the earth we live on was born but yesterday, and we made our appearance on it only a moment ago.
When we consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what is humanity that you are mindful of us? What are we mortals that you consider us? Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
Mishpat
together we rise, physically or spiritually, for these words, the words of Shema and Ve'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam ram v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shoftecha u'v'echa u'kshartam le'ot al yedecha ve'ayu l'totafot be'einecha u'v'tarachtam b'mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני words of Geulah, words of redemption, on page 42. Larry, would you lead us in reading all of?
All this we hold to be true and certain. The eternal alone is our God. There is none else, and we are Israel, God's people.
Our divine protector delivers us from the hand of human oppressors and saves us from the fist of tyrants.
You perform wonders without number, marvels that surpass our understanding.
You urge us toward life and revive us when we stumble.
You did wonders for us in Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh.
You led your people Israel out forever to serve you in freedom.
When your children beheld your power, they praised you and gave you thanks. Freely they accepted your sovereignty, and Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you with great joy.
On page 44, we sing those same words that Miriam, Moses, and all Israel sang at the shore of Freedom Sea.
No
As you redeemed Israel and saved us from arms stronger than our own, so may you redeem all those who are still oppressed and persecuted. We praise you, Eternal One, Redeemer of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen.
And we pray the words of Hashkivenu on page 45. May we lie down in peace. May we awaken to renewed life and strength. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Ve'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Uvros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha V'tachmeinu V'tachmeinu Be'etzat Tovam Yochanecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Ve'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim Baruch atah Adonai HaPorei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu Aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom Ve'amidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Page 46. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השני שבת שבת היינו שבת שבת היינו Shabbat Page 49. Yitgadol, Yitgadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad Yivrach Yirtev Yamlich Malchutei.
B'chaye kol yomecha, u'chaye l'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, u'bizman kavayim, ve'imeru ayin. Yesh Shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'aron ve'amaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalosh v'yitkodeshah. Leila min kol birchata v'shir hatov.
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Ha'gadol, Ha'gibor Ha'nora, El Elyon, Golei Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avotei Mahot, U'mei Yulal Yimei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shimo Me'ah. Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah, Urav Yoshia. Mechakeh Chaim B'chesed, Mechayeh Hakol B'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, V'rofeh Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mkayem Hatov B'shenei Afar, B'chamocha V'Yagurot, U'Li'Yod Melach, Melech B'Nitum Chayei, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Enanatah Ha'chayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like the softness of moonlight, illumines the darkness in which we walk.
Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns not consumed.
And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el Kadosh. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Page 57, the words of the Avodah prayer. Be gracious, eternal God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. May our worship be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and among our people in Zion.
We praise you, Eternal One, the great mercy and love.
And at the top of page 58, we continue there. Our God and God of our ancestors, let these ancient memories be acknowledged, recalled, and cherished in sight and sound. The memory of our ancestors, the memory of Jerusalem, your holy city, and the memory of your people, the house of Israel, on this day of Sukkot, and renew in us love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. With a compassionate, redeeming word, show us your tender love, for we look to you, our gracious and compassionate God. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazer shechinato b'tzion. We give thanks in the words of the Hoda'ah on page 60. We gratefully acknowledge, eternal God, that you are our creator and our preserver, the rock of our life and our protecting shield. We give thanks to you for our lives, which are in your hands, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for your wondrous providence and your continuous goodness, which you bestow upon us day by day. Truly, your mercies never fail, and your love and kindness never cease. Therefore, do we put our trust in you, O God, our Redeemer and Helper, that all who live affirm and praise your name in truth. Eternal God, whose name is goodness, we give you thanks and praise. Page 63. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Ve'al Kol Ha'amim, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Le'olam. Ki Atah Melech Adon, Lechol Shalom.
Shalom Rav Israel Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Israel Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We take a few moments to pray the words of our own hearts. Page 66. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and all the world.
Oh, say shalom, shalom, Ibrahim. Uya, say shalom, Aleinu. Be'yakov, Yisrael. Be'yakov, Be'adam. Oh, say shalom, shalom, Ibrahim. Uya, say shalom, Aleinu. Be'yakov, Yisrael. Be'yakov, Be'adam. Uya, say shalom, Aleinu. Be'yakov, Yisrael. Amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom, Uya, say shalom, Aleinu. Be'yakov, Yisrael. Be'yakov, Be'adam. Be'yakov, Yisrael.
Well, since it is Sukkot, I have a sukkah story for you. And then we will bench lulav and etrog. And if you would like to, after our service, you can go out into the sukkah and you can shake the lulav and the etrog as well. So this story is called The Most Beautiful Sukkah of All, and it was written by Rabbi Ruth Adar. There was once a man named Yaakov who built a beautiful sukkah. It had an expensive carpet and golden furniture and beautiful Israeli art on the walls. It was so beautiful that after the holiday, Yaakov decided that he wanted to keep his sukkah forever. Still, he worried. What about the golden furniture? What about the expensive carpet? And so Yaakov put a door on his sukkah and a great big padlock, and he locked that sukkah up tight. And every night he slept on a pallet in the sukkah. Now the sukkah was a kosher sukkah. It had a flimsy roof of palm fronds. And as he looked up at the roof, he worried about it, and he thought to himself, thieves might be able to come in through the roof. So he bought some lumber, and he nailed a roof on top of the sukkah to keep it very secure. He closed that roof up tight, and he still slept in the sukkah every night. And when he was in the sukkah, he noticed that he could no longer see the stars or the moonlight because he had put the lumber on top of the roof. He felt a little sad, but then he thought, I need to keep my sukkah safe for me, for he loved his sukkah very much, and he slept in it every night. Not long after that, a neighbor complained to the city, and soon a building inspector came by. And the building inspector said to Yaakov, Yaakov, you have no permit for this structure. You can't keep this here. And Yaakov said very importantly, this is a sukkah. You can't penalize me for a sukkah. It's my religion. I have religious rights. So the building inspector said, Yaakov, I think I need a note from your rabbi. That night, Yaakov lay awake in the sukkah all night. The next day, Yaakov went to his rabbi and said, Rabbi, I have built the most beautiful sukkah. Would you come and see my sukkah and tell the city they have to let me keep it? The rabbi looked at Yaakov and said, Yaakov, it's almost Hanukkah. What are you doing with a sukkah? And Yaakov said, Rabbi, come and see it. It is the most beautiful sukkah ever. So the rabbi shook his head and went to visit Yaakov's house. And he saw the structure in the yard with the great big padlock on the door. And the rabbi looked up at the top where the schach should be, and he saw the wooden roof above and said, is that your sukkah? Yes, it's beautiful, said Yaakov. Come in and see. He unlocked the padlock and opened the door, and the rabbi peered inside to the dim interior and saw the golden furniture and the art on the walls and the carpet on the... Then the rabbi saw the pallet on the floor. Standing there, in disbelief, the rabbi looked up again at the roof. He sighed. Yaakov, my friend, you know this is not a kosher sukkah. What? It's the most beautiful sukkah in the world. No, Yaakov, you can't see the stars through the roof. And whoever saw a sukkah with a lock on it? But I have to keep it safe, Rabbi. I love this sukkah. I'm going to keep it forever, said Yaakov. The rabbi sighed again, even deeper. Yaakov, my friend, the day that you decided to keep it forever, that's the day it stopped being a sukkah. The sukkah is here to teach us that nothing is permanent. We can't keep things forever. We have to appreciate the beauty here and now because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Let me ask you this. What treasure have you been neglecting while you tried to keep this sukkah? Yaakov began to cry, and the rabbi cried with him. And they sat for a moment on the golden furniture together, and they cried. And then the rabbi helped Yaakov take the sukkah apart and put away the furniture. And he rolled up the rug and he went inside, where inside was waiting his wife and his children. So that's the story of the most beautiful sukkah. And of course, the meaning of this holiday is to build a bit of beautiful sukkah and then, of course, to take it down. So we're going to take up the lulav and the etrog and say the bracha. You'll please rise and join with me. We say the bracha that we say for any mitzvah that we're about to do ends with the words al netilat lulav. Means God has commanded us to wave the lulav. Still smells good. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu al netilat lulav. Amen. And later tonight, if you'd like to go out in the sukkah and bench lulav and etrog yourself, you're most welcome to. And when you shake that, you could hear almost the sound of rain. So I'll tell you that our sukkah looked quite beautiful on Sunday night and Monday morning. And last night's rain, I think, took a lot of the decorations down, but that's, of course, part of what we pray for this time of year, too, is rain. So join me as well now as we pray for healing. We pray for rain this time of year because the earth needs rain and the world needs healing. People need healing as well. We sing these words at our services and our daily prayers because we know that there is brokenness in the world, and that's part of the message of Sukkot as well. But that we can rebuild, we can build anew. So on page 133, we see the words of the Mishaberach prayer. On this Shabbat, especially in our community, we're thinking of Wilfred Walker, Shirley Herman, Esther Buchenmarkt, Rick Valentine, Marlene Friedman, Suzanne Scher-Stimson, Bernie McLennan, Nicola Proetti, Lorraine DaCosta, Adela Tsur, Ann Steinbeck, Evelyn Tyndall, Amanda Schenk, Daniel Black, Jean Elizabeth Pitt, Shmuel Ben Devora, Pauline Portnoy, Ian Goodrich, Erwin Milgram, Karen Smith, Marilyn Block, Nicole Hansen, Dr. Marvin Cezant, and Joe Tortel. And I invite you to share aloud names of those whom you're praying for on this Shabbat, or to hold those names in your heart as we pray these words together. Page 149. We rise for the words of Aleinu.
Aleinu Shabath Adon HaKol, V'ateitu L'Yosef Bereshit, Asher Samchalkeinu Yachid Esharo, Ve'or Aleinu Shamit Ma'uto, Ve'amachnu Korim, U'mishtatalim U'modim,
Please be seated. Page 158. You are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. At this time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those of our friends and neighbors, and all those people whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this time, we're in Shloshim for Michael Feynman, the brother of Barry, the uncle of Daniel and Georgia, and Simon and Carrie. And we recall the names of the following, whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death occurs this week. Riva Rosemarin, the mother of Leonard, the grandmother of Nicole, Chantal, and Danielle. Rose Ansell, the grandmother of Kevin Shine, and the great-grandmother of Elise, Rebecca, and Connie. Leonard Lazar, the son of Marilyn Block. Mary Eisman, the mother of Barry. Sarah Kornbluth, the mother of the late David, and the mother-in-law of Harriet, and the grandmother of Charles and Stephen. David Rhesus, the father of Sylvia Loeffler. Edith Gabrielle Shalom, the sister of Joe Tortel. Salomea Rosen, the grandmother of Rita Grossman. Arnold Phillipson, the father of Diane Adler, and the grandfather of Allison and Michael. Izzy Prats, the father of Arlene Botnick and Lorraine Chelsky, the grandfather of Ian, Robin, Mark, Julia, and Karen. Jack Hernick, the husband of Frances, the cousin of Arlene Botnick. George and Rosa Herman, the grandparents of Gavin. Ruth Herman, the aunt of Gavin. David Douglas Kugelmass, the father of Michael. Hal Ellison, the grandfather of Mark Farrelly, and the great-grandfather of Dahlia and Shana. Mendel Wuchenmark, the husband of Esther, the father of Toby Sunga and Rachel Lebarsky. David Schiffman, the father of Carol, the grandfather of Leah, Noah, and Sarah. Menachem Hamadani, the brother of Judith Tamari. Eduardo Del Carmen, the adopted father of Anthony Warren. Aviv Haller, the son of Leah Haller. Harvey Taub, the brother of Esther Turner. Deborah Taub, the friend of Susan Wilson. Kenneth Rich, the father of Jill Rich. Harry Goldenberg, the father and father-in-law of Carol and Jeff Copeland. Ann Mursky, the aunt of Cheryl Englander and Rabbi Lawrence Englander. Louis Davidson, the grandfather of Carol Van Tine. Gisela Gordon, the mother of David and the grandmother, of Malcolm and Liam. Hannah Faulkner, the mother of Susan Carnival. The grandmother of Mark, Juliana, and Allie, and the great-grandfather and great-grandmother of Jordan. And if there are any other names you'd like to share aloud for Kaddish, you're invited to do so at this time. We ask those who are mourning to please rise first, so that we might say to Min Hamakom Tinachamu, may you find comfort in God's sheltering presence. And now as a community, we all rise to support those who are mourning, and to say Kaddish for those who have no one to say it for them. On page 159, we repeat these words, hallowed by the generations, the words of the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiritei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayet chol v'yamakom, v'chayet chol beit Yisrael, ba'ad alav v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'varach le'alam olam me'almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei b'kedusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol mirchata v'shirata, trishbachata v'nechamata, Damiran Me'alma V'Imramen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'Imramen. Oseh Shalom B'Imramav. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'al Kol B'nei Adam. V'Imramen. May the source of peace send peace to all those who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us, among all the Jewish people, and among all the nations and families of earth. We say it together. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Some brief announcements on behalf of the board. Joel Brown will be sharing those with us this evening.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I want to say thank you to Isaiah for being our shamus tonight, and also to invite everyone to join us in the Kiddush room after the service for some oneg. And also I want to let you know about some upcoming services. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. is a regular Shabbat service. And then Sunday at 7 p.m. is our family Simchat Torah service. Come and dance with the Torahs as we celebrate the ending and beginning of the Torah cycle. And we're going to welcome our new Beit Sefer students at this special service as we celebrate the beginning of their learning. And then on Monday at 10 a.m. is a regular Simchat Torah service with Yizkor. So join us for all of those. And of course, next weekend, Friday, October 21st at 8 p.m. is a regular Erev Shabbat service, and Saturday at 10 a.m. the regular Shabbat morning service. So we do have Beit Sefer classes on Sunday the 16th, starting at 10 a.m. and Rabbi Pollock's text study as well at 10:30 a.m. That will be on Zoom. The link is in your Shamus newsletter. And lots of other things going on as per usual. Just remind you that our Tuesday morning minions have also resumed, so join us at 7 a.m. on Tuesdays. We have a brief morning service and nice bit of breakfast as well. And what else is coming up? One more thing. Tuesday, October 25th is our first Lunch and Learn at 11:30 a.m. That will be by Zoom. And the topic is honest reporting. I think that is honest reporting about the goings on in the Middle East. So, lots of other things besides. You can check the website and your inbox for anything you want to know. And if you've got anything on your mind, I will be happy to talk to you at the oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Joel. We also do want to wish Mazel Tov to Jay Nevelef and Nick Ledwidge and their family on the recent engagement of their daughter Emily to Stephen Resnick. Mazel Tov. We're going to conclude services with Kiddush for Erev Shabbat and invite you to join with Jeff Copeland. Please rise, page 163, as we join together in Kiddush.
ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shavat kodsho ve'ahava u'katzon himkilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please come and join us in the Kiddush room for owning Shabbat, and may you have a peaceful, joyful, restful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Yasher koach.